everyone, welcome to another round of the Galactic Podracing circuit. Welcome to the skip parade today, since both players are Nock and LightningPirate are very fond of doing skips. My name is Game Draco, and I'm joined today by Roni.
Hello. The picks and bans have gone through for just the bands actually, have gone through for the first track. We'll be starting on Mongaza Speedway, the shortest track in the game. Kind of looks like a stomach on the overview there. Yeah, this is the, I believe the only track in the game where the, it's, like, completely straightforward and doesn't split at any points. I think maybe Ubuntu Training Course doesn't split. Actually, this might split if you count the, little big, those things, I don't know what you call those walls.
Yeah, this track is the only one where you'll be getting a time full under a minute, and it's a bit scary doing multiple track runs of the game because the AI is so slow you'll be crashing into it all the time, even without upgrades during a circuit run.
The actual run is coming in about now, it looks like.
Lanes off.
And yeah, this is a very, very short track, so I wouldn't expect,
Ooh, that was a bad bonk. Nock swung too wide.
Yeah.
Oh, swung too wide again.
Solid first lap from Lightning.
Second difference from those bonks.
Yeah, Lightning's actually looking very good here. That's incredibly clean.
13-12. 13:37 from Nock.
This is where that 2/10 is going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, he's now like about a second and a half there. Yeah, he gets a 40. 40.91.
40.91. Yeah, Nock's time isn't bad at all, but wow, 40.9 is very fast.
Okay, the permabans are going place. We have Lightning banning Executioner and the Gauntlet, and Nock banning Gravine Gateway and Zugga.
Someone in the chat asking why LightningPirate's text looks a lot better. It's because you can replace the font in this game, and that's just a cleaner looking font. It's also part of a multiplayer mod, but this isn't multiplayer, so it doesn't change any part of the actual game. Just makes it look better. The temporary ban for the pod is Ben. Pretty standard temp ban. He's
Bang Sebulba's Legacy.
Yeah, Sebulba's Legacy. That's a tough track, so I can understand. And I remember Nock was practicing on it a lot, so that makes sense as well. No Mars, no Mahonic, no Ben.
So that means Elon Mac or Bullseye here.
Or potentially Bull's Ruer if you're a bit crazy. 2 forces on your first ability to use them is a bit of an interesting choice. But hey, that can be very interesting. Doug Derby is a shorter track as well, but it's also very fun. I believe, isn't it one of the tracks that's based on a real Formula 1 track?
It's based on the real life Laguna Seca.
Yeah, it looks like Nock is going for Elon Mac.
Elon Mac is the track favorite for Doug Derby, but he's really hard to use well.
Yeah, this might actually be one of those cases where the track favorite is going to get actual use on the track. It doesn't happen very often.
Apart from Ben on Full Track Inferno.
Yeah. Because Ben is mostly useful on almost any track. There's only a handful where he's not the ideal pod.
And one of them in Gravine Gateway was banned outright.
Yeah. And Fire Mountain Rally is, I think they're still working on the task to figure out if Bullseye or Ben is strictly better or worse, you know.
I know when King Bean Dip was tested, here's another solid runner of this game, and the winner that's going to face him, he was testing both Bullseye and Ben with a tool-assisted run, and they're about even on the first lap.
Mm-hmm. Actually kind of surprising. I would have thought Bullseye would be way more, way better on that. But yes, the winner of this match will go on to face King Bean Dip in the winners quarterfinals. And yes, indeed, we do have King Bean Dip in chat right now, scoping out his next opponent, whoever that will be. The loser will go to the loser's bracket to face That's No Good. We're good.
They're both going Elon Mac. Trek favorite mirror. That's not something you could say every day.
Yeah. 2 Elon Macs. I'll take it. It's a fun time. And pretty clean so far.
Oh!
Yikes! You don't want to see that.
But Nock was swinging wide going into the roll straight.
That's not ideal at all. You really don't want that. Dying on a shorter track like this. Oh,
crashing in the
first lap. Oh.
I just see her turning a lot wider just due to Elon Mac's greasy traction handling. Seems like Lightning is taking a more risk-averse approach, though he almost crashed there.
Yeah. This is a deceptively tough track. You wouldn't look at it and think it's that hard, but it's brutal. Yeah. Especially if you're trying to go as fast as you can, which is kind of the point of a racing game and a speed run anyway.
Crashes on the Andre hairpin. She's just swinging too wide.
Yeah, it's very easy to do with Elon Mac because of his poor handling.
Yeah.
But LP
even worse,
seems to be in much better control of it.
Or 141, which is pretty respectable for Elon Mac.
Yeah, solid. But was it 3 deaths for Nock? Is really not what you want to be having on this. She'll still be able to get sub 2 here, but yeah, it's pretty nasty track. We've got Mars Guo as the temp ban, Fire Mountain Rally as the second temp ban, and Auto Prime Syndrome. I like this track. It's very interesting visually, as well as it has a bunch of different branching paths, and they're all different lengths, and so you have to know which one's the fastest path. It's not immediately obvious which one it is, but I believe both of these runners will know the fastest path. So with no Mars, this should be pretty obviously a bend mirror. Mars is sort of a throwaway ban here, just to make sure that it's a bend mirror, because Ben's the best pod on this track in any event. It's the most unique of the 4 Ondo Prime tracks because it doesn't have any sections which directly overlap with any of the other tracks on this planet. Which is pretty unique because the other 3 all have the same general starting area and other little bits that they combine. The ending of Beato's Wild Ride and Howler Gorge, or the beginning stretch of Howler and Adobe Mountain Run. But this has all new, and it actually looks, way more urban than just the rural, out in the middle of nowhere ice plains, which is kind of cool. So it's one of my favorite tracks in terms of level design, and it's also really fun.
I always find this track deceptively hard because of how many routes you can take in it.
Mm-hmm. And there's some scary tricks potentially here, like the hairpin that Nock is coming up on in this warm-up. You have to go very slowly through it, you have to brake, but of course you want to go as fast as you can through it, and not do stuff like that where you lose a lot of speed and damage your engines. And ideally, keep as much heat through it as you can. And they're off.
In fact, we need to sync. They're already in sync pretty much.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Like underheated quite badly.
Ooh,
Whoa!
the lightning dies, and that's going to be way more significant than a little underheat at the very beginning.
Yeah, a crash like that early on is one of the worst you can take.
And Nock looking clean, pretty clean through the hairpin. LP is a little bit better. And maybe if he holds this boost. Oh, but he doesn't. He bonks a little bit.
Neither one. Both bonk.
And Nock taking a little bit of a longer path than the ideal one. But it's... These two paths that the two runners are taking here are pretty close. So it's not as much of a time difference as if they took completely different paths. Yeah, 55-second first lap is really solid.
Okay.
Sub 1 with a death is pretty good too, though. If Nock can stay clean, she should be able to pretty easily stay ahead. There's not too many spots where LP can get ahead. Pretty much just this hairpin and the better path.
Whoa! No,
she dies
not happening.
And that's gonna give LP the lead by a not insignificant amount.
This time he nailed the angle better.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just no collision on part of that arch, so you can just kind of fly through it. It's pretty great. The collision is mostly around the edges, so as long as you fly over it, you're just fine. But yeah, LP gonna be taking a 54-second lap is always a very solid lap time.
Yeah.
And unless... Oh, but LP dies there again! And now Nock is gonna take back the lead. But is it just enough of a lead for her that her slower path...
Hairpin.
She's going a bit slow.
Both
But
of
they
them.
both make it through deathless. LP's gonna get the longer
Lightning got the
boost,
better
though, and he's
line.
now they're pretty much even, and I think LP will be able to take a lead with his
Better
slightly
lines.
faster path. It's really close, though. This is gonna be down to the wire. Oh, LP's gonna be able to boost a little bit longer.
No, he caught fire!
Oh!
I think Nock has this
she's
by
got
a
it.
whisker.
She's got it by, half a second.
Half a second. Half a second. That was a race that got... that went close all the way to the end, and by the end, I didn't know who was gonna win.
That was a solid race from both racers, especially LP keeping himself into it despite dying an extra time.
Okay, Lightning's banning Bullseye. Okay, Abyss.
Abyss is a pretty standard temp ban, especially against LP, who's very strong on it.
You know what's coming. Let me guess. Fire Mountain Rally without...
Boot training course
skip.
skip. Yeah, they were bantering about that last night, about how Nock hadn't been practicing on it enough. We'll see if that's true now, won't we? Yeah, Bunta training course skip is kind of inconsistent, and by kind of inconsistent, I mean it's very inconsistent if you're not like really practiced at it, especially if you're trying to go fast. It's one of those skips where you won't really know you did it wrong until you finish it and you find out the lap didn't count and you just have to do it again. Yeah, it can be pretty brutal. So there are a couple picks for Pod you could choose here. Juan Sandage is the safer pick, but he is quite a bit slower than Mars Guo, who would be the faster pick, but more difficult because of he doesn't have as high of hover height as Juan Sandage. But the skip does shave off about half of the lap. Looks like Nock will be going for Juan Sandage. Those are some pretty solid BBs from Nock, showing off what she's been able to do in practices. And it looks like they've both chosen Juan Sandage. Understandable. I believe this is the race, so
Yeah, I think so.
here we go. And LP gets it. Quote or question mark? I don't know why I said quote. Looks like he got it. Yeah,
Counts.
That's a fast lap. Oh, but Nock is struggling on it a little bit. Oh! Yikes. Oh man, LP is just gonna crush this, isn't he? He's, that looks good for a second lap, and it does count. And Nock finally completes her first lap. Oh! Lightning dies. I'm not sure it'll matter though.
He's still massive
but...
ahead because he's...
Yeah, because it was faster first and second lap.
Both of them are. Okay, yeah. Lightning gets it. No, he gets it.
With Nock dying there, LP would be able to secure a 108, which is, yeah, about 27 seconds faster than the world record for full track. So even with the struggles he was having, it's still significantly faster than just doing.
But we have a forfeit from Nock.
So, with Nock forfeiting that one, yeah, she's back on her back foot now, and not what you want to see. You don't want to be down two wins in this.
LightningPirate struggling to figure out what he's going to ban temporarily.
He could just go back to Sebulba's Legacy, which was, I think, his temp ban earlier.
Banning Fire Mountain Rally?
Yep. So, Ben and Fire Mountain Rally are banned. Aquilara's Classic. Interesting pick. This is one of those tracks where the difference between somebody who's just solid at the game in general versus somebody who's really practiced this specific track. Because the boost timings are maybe a little bit less intuitive. It's not as a like Spice Mine run where you have to basically do everything perfectly to not magically lose a full second. But it's still pretty tough in that regard. There's also some tricky spots where you can die if you're not careful. As there are on basically every track in this game. Except maybe Boon's Training Course.
With Ben Ban, Bull's Roar is the fastest pod here.
Yeah, Bull's Roar is an extremely fast pod. So is usually, in almost every case, the ideal pick if Ben is removed. Except for the tracks where you wouldn't use Ben anyway. Also, if you're doing no upgrades, Bulls is pretty much the fastest pod. Although he is a lot harder to control with no upgrades.
Here we go.
Alright, and this is the race. So, looks like LightningPirate gets pretty much ideally the first boost. And same for Nock. There's actually a texture kill spot in that, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure the exact terminology, but there's a spot in that area where you can just die if you hit it.
Yeah, particularly around the edges. Oh, she held the boost too greedily and crashed!
Yeah, that can happen as well. Like I said, there's a lot of little spots in this track where you can die if you're not used to it.
Particularly without Ben, or it's even more unfamiliar.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, most runners are accustomed to using fully upgraded Ben here. Oh!
And another death from Nock. This is not what you want to see.
$55 is pretty solid with Bowls.
That's a strong first lap. And this looks like it's going to be 106 with 2 deaths. That's a little bit less than ideal, for sure. And LP makes it through the doors. It's easier to make it through those on the second lap than the first lap.
Also the third lap, because you can just open and close them.
Yeah. As a kid playing this game, I always crashed on the first lap doors. I never figured out that I'm supposed to zigzag them. Oh, man.
Oh, secret.
Yeah. This track is
54.
Another deceptively brutal track. It looks pretty easy, but it's tough. In fact, you can die on a lot of spots. Yeah, 1 minute lap with a death. Yeah, I think LP just has such a significant lead at this point that he can afford a death or two. Or now
Especially
three,
now! Not hit one of those 2 texture spots.
Yeah. Really? Oh,
Yep, I hit
man.
another texture kill spot.
And this might just be tilt at this point. Yikes. You really don't want to see that.
Looks like Lightning took a little safer through that hairpin. And coming in with a 244 with bowls, which is not bad with bowls.
Yeah, it's a solid time. But Knock is probably gonna come in somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 seconds behind, which is really, really tough. Especially on your own pick. Yeah, 26 seconds behind. Oof.
Okay, banning bowls. Oh, but clearly Knock wasn't used to it. Spice Mine Run, Franny from Lightning.
Sebulba's Legacy, no Ben. And no Bowls. So is that Beto? Or would you go Elon Mac here?
You could go, I would say Beto, Elon Lack, Mahonic, or Bullseye. Bullseye is the safest but the slowest. I think Mahonic would probably be the most reasonable pick here.
Yeah, I think I would go with Mahonic if I was in this situation. But this is match point. We'll see what Nock has planned. She's probably got something up her sleeve. Sebulba's Legacy is another very tough track. I mean, obviously most tracks in this game are tough to an extent. But it's one of the tougher tracks in the game, even though it doesn't maybe look like it on the surface. It's got a couple spots, including this one, like cave section sort of thing, where you can die very easily. And the wall ride at the end of every lap is also very tricky. Looks like Nock might be going for Mars Guo. That's not a bad pick.
Oh, I forgot. He's a good pick, too.
Yeah. Once you get rid of Ben and Bowls, there's actually a number of different pods you can use. Mars is good because he can hold a really long boost.
And also has great handling for this turn hop, which is no longer a skip.
Indeed. But a problem that you might notice there is his very wide hitbox, which allows him to clip walls just a bit easier than most other pods, even when you're tilting.
Both going with Mars.
Yeah, both going with Mars. That's an interesting development. And off they go. This first corner is kind of tricky as well. Not sure what's up with the green gas section. I just never questioned that. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be exactly, but it's on a lot of the maps.
Supposed to be a pool of methane.
Oh, yeah. And this cave section, Nock makes it through, and they both make it through fine. Now the wall ride.
This is where it's going to determine the race. Oh no!
Oh, and LightningPirate falls to the bottom in much slower track. Yikes, that's going to single-handedly lose him somewhere around 5 seconds.
Basically took the equivalent of a crash there.
Yeah. Oh!
And he crashes outright!
And you spoke the crash into existence. Oh no. Now Nock makes it through. It seems that this match isn't done yet. Ooh.
Barely survives.
She didn't die there, but she makes it through.
Same here.
Oh, Lightning dies. Now, I don't know if he's going to have quite enough speed to comfortably make this. He
makes
does get it. But yeah, Nock is now extremely ahead. She can afford a death or two. And swinging around to... Oh, another death from Lightning! And that's a death plus Global Legacy for Nock. 153 with Mars. That's good. That's a good time. And this is not over yet. Still match point, but Nock has grabbed herself another win.
Yeah, but now she's totally at the mercy of Lightning now. All of her picks have been exhausted.
Yep. Yeah, she's not going to pick another track for the rest of this match. If Lightning Pirate wins just one more, he wins.
Okay, Lightning's banning Mars, Nock banning Inferno.
And where will Lightning take us? Abyss. No forces. This is going to be an exciting one.
And
hopefully.
Lightning is scarily consistent on Abyss full.
Abyss is a very frightening track to face Lightning Pirate on, or to face anybody on, really, especially full track. It's not very consistent. It's quite brutal. It's a very difficult track.
And by taking out Mars, he took out the pod that is the best to recover with.
Lightning Pirate might just go for Ben here, who is the fastest on this track, but very, very difficult compared to something like Bullseye, considered to be the safer pick. And indeed, Nock will be going for Bullseye here.
I'm pretty sure Lightning's going to go with Ben. He is comfortable at this track.
Yes, very much so.
This track, I would say, I've always considered this track the hardest in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely a candidate for it. It's very inconsistent. If you fall off and you can't manage to climb back up, which is a difficult trick in and of itself, then you're pretty much losing 45 seconds. Like, it's not good.
It's also extremely common to see people complete every track but this one. It's that hard.
Yeah. It's definitely a tough one. If you played this game as a kid, you almost certainly had trouble with this track. I think that's pretty much a universal experience for people who played this as a kid.
And that's what I mean by turning timid. Lightning went a lot safer than Nock did.
I think he can afford that. He might be guessing that Nock is using Bullseye and he can just rely on being cleaner and letting Ben's boost take care of the rest.
Yeah.
And you can see basically, just because of how fast Ben is. Oh, Lightning falls down there. That's a couple seconds lost. So Nock should be able to even it back up here. But this section...
I don't call it until the penalty lap portion is cleared on the final lap. Oh, and Nock crashes into the wall.
Yeah. And a 51-second first lap. That's pretty solid for falling down on that later section.
Oh, falls off the track outright.
Oh, that's a bottom respawn. Oh, it's top respawn.
She got
really?
the top.
That's good. That's fortunate. Wow. Yeah, but LP now just has an enormous lead, and it's very difficult to see him losing this.
Yeah. Once he clears the penalty lap in lap 3, the race will be sealed.
Yeah. And, another death for Nock.
47.
Yeah, and that's what Ben can do. 47-second lap is what Ben can do.
Uh-oh!
Oh, Lightning Pirate's falling down. Can he make the climb back to the surface? Or will he be trapped in the abyss? He makes it back up.
Okay,
And he's
it's
good.
sealed.
Wow. A little hairy there at the end, but he successfully saved
That
it.
takes That's extremely difficult to save with any pod outside of Mars. Oh, and Nock falls off!
Oh, yeah, that's what can happen. You have to use nose down, and then you have to,
Or
do
she
that.
got up!
She got back up, saving a significant amount of time, but not nearly enough to win.
228 for Lightning.
Yes,
So-
228 is a very, very solid time here.
So
I
Lightning's
think that
going
might
on to
actually
face...
be, that might be top 5 tournament time.
Yeah, so with this result, Lightning is going to face King Bean Dip, and Nock is going to face That's No Good next.
Yep. That's a wrap pretty much for this race. As soon as Nock finishes off here. And 3 minutes flat is a pretty okay time considering the deaths. And now we are getting the runners in. Welcome.
Hello.
Well, that was something. Jeez.
Yeah, there were some tricky bits in this race.
Yeah, I needed to practice more things that I didn't, unfortunately.
You need to practice. I'm the one who's going all. I don't know what I'm doing on.
Saboba's Legacy?
Well, yeah, that one too. That one.
Yeah, SL, Mars. Yeah, I was very happy with the SL and APC, obviously, but I really
Yeah.
needed to ban Abyss.
Lightning Pirate's a tough opponent, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, kudos to you.
Yeah,
Good cast.
and Lightning is so terrifyingly consistent on Abyss Full.
Yeah,
Yeah, 228 is insanely good for a
I
tournament.
couldn't resist on. Well, I almost just like threw it away at the end. I don't know what.
Yeah, you managed to climb back up though.
yeah. I should have. I was worried about Inferno skips because I only knew it with Mars, which is why I took it out.
Yeah, the off pods were really throwing me off. Like that was a really good strategy to, especially on tracks where, you know, once you remove just a couple pods, it becomes sort of competitive on who can win. But yeah, you didn't use any skip or no upgrades, right?
Yeah, no upgrades. I would have needed more time to prep, and then what am I gonna do? Take you to skips? That seems foolish.
I was kind of worried you would throw in like a brand new skip, like the Doug Derby one, because
Sure.
I hadn't really practiced that one that much, so that would.
I considered learning that,
Be
but
careful what you say,
was-
Lightning. You know, King Bean dips in chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really good at that one. I'm holding on a PB. I just want to see.
no, I was hoping that you would take me to not Boon to Training Course skip. That was the one that I was like, I guess I know this, but I hope he doesn't take me there.
Oh.
Because INF skip, I'm very consistent on. Bumpy skip. Like there were a lot of choices where it would have been competitive, hopefully.
I was considering bumpy skip for this last one. Like it was a choice between Abyss full trek and bumpy skip. So
No, the Abyss choice was probably the best possible thing you could have done. And I mean, well raised you. 228 is nuts.
thanks.
Yeah, that's really good. In fact, I think it might actually be that might be on the tourney leaderboards for full track. I mean, look that up real quick.
Well, no one even
wouldn't be
wants to go there anymore. Like no one loves Abyss. They all hate it.
Yeah, that should be fourth, assuming that the that Botto was updated. That should be fourth for Abyss full track. So
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's played it this year yet, or if they. Or if
I
they've done
know
something.
Nectarn went for it because he's really fond of Abyss Full with Bullseye.
Okay,
And
good.
I think Digital Unity took Dom there, but they both used Bullseye.
Oh, nice.
So hard to get a record there.
well,
Oh.
you both raced valiantly. That's for sure.
So Knock, you said, I think in the Discord, you mentioned you got like a top 5 time somewhere, but you
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's on Inferno
disclose.
Skips.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, I was learning it just to learn it, so I knew it, and then all of a sudden I noticed, hey, I have a 27. If I just push down to a 26, that's actually a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why I was hoping you would take me there.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't really
Hoping I
like
could beat
Inferno skips.
Yeah.
All right, well, GG's.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, good game, everybody. It was very entertaining. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you to the runners for coming in and giving us a nice show. And thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting. Good night, everybody.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. May the
luck
force
to-
be with you.
Yeah, may the force be with you all.